Ninja Gaiden 2 Black harkens back to a bygone era, where developers believed all you needed to make a sick video game was to cram in as many teenage boy things as possible and hope for the best. And to be honest, they were right. It's a formula that continues to impress, although much more nostalgically nowadays. In an era where every game tries to jam in multiplayer, become a live service, include loot boxes and season passes, or overly bloat their games with content, playing this was such a refreshing change of pace. None of the extra crap. Nope, you're a ninja, here's a sword, go out and kill demons and save the girl. That's all you needed back in 2008 when the original Ninja Gaiden 2 released, and it's a treat once more with this remake in 2025. This is my first Ninja Gaiden game ever, so I hesitate to call this video a review, more of an appreciation for this older approach to game design. When it came to the story, I had no idea what was going on beyond the overarching details. You are Ryu Hayabusa, a dragon ninja with a badass katana and a knack for extremely flashy and brutal kills. On the other hand, these are bad guys. They want to revive an ancient demon fiend to do bad things. Probably would be best if we put a stop to that. Oh, and here's some good-looking girls to support you on your journey. They aren't just damsels in distress either. They kick ass just as much as Ryu does in levels all their own. Guys and girls kicking ass and slaying demons. Sign me up, that was enough story for me. The narrative never goes beyond these familiar tropes, but it doesn't really need to. It provides context for the gameplay scenarios, and that's more than enough because the focus here is all about the action. The game wastes no time with anything that may take away from the combat experience. Sure, there's some light platforming, but that's mostly to tie into the ninja appeal. I mean, you're never gonna get sick of doing these wall jumps, that's for damn sure. I love them all. But fighting is the focus here. Combat is incredibly visceral and destructive as you hack and slash through enemies, often finishing them off by tearing them limb from limb. Quick and heavy attacks combine together wonderfully to leave nothing but a bloody mess in your wake. Finishing moves are always satisfying, and they're over quickly enough that they never drag on and break up the pace of a fight. And if you get overwhelmed, busting out a little dragon magic can annihilate a room of enemies in a hurry. After every fight, you have this urge to push onward to find more prey, and I think that's the sign of a great combat system. It's crunchy, it's bloody, it's gory, and it's fun, knowing that you're the engine of destruction through it all. And unlike games of today, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is not shy about giving you rewards as quickly as possible. It feels like every level over the first half of the game offers up some new weapon or magic move to use. I tried out a few of these throughout my playthrough, but I mostly stuck with the Lunar Staff, which was my personal favorite. It had great reach, fast strikes, and a flurry attack heavy move that was great for crowd control. And it only got better each time I upgraded it, which is another simple but effective system. When you kill an enemy, they drop either health, mana, or currency. This money can be used at shops throughout the levels to either upgrade your weapons or buy healing items, which was useful. These shops were spread out fairly throughout the adventure. It felt like every time I was in need of a restock, I came upon one which helped promote the power fantasy that the combat aims to deliver. It's only in the last few missions where things get tough, at least on the normal difficulty. Shops and checkpoints get pushed a little further apart, forcing you to play better and manage your resources wisely. Not to mention, the game partially becomes a boss rush over the last 3 or 4 levels, which is really cool. I had to retrain my brain from how to approach boss fights in an action game after how oversaturated the genre has become with Souls-likes in recent years. Here, you don't need to dodge and block every attack before getting in a little bit of damage. Hell no, play smart, but absolutely get your hits in. Go blow for blow and pray you come out on the other side alive. Most of the time you will throughout the first few chapters, but like I said, things pick up in the final quarter of the game. The last few missions really tested me. I was low on heals and mana and had to squeeze out every victory through small margins. Some of these boss fights will really push you and will require multiple attempts, especially Elizabeth. Man, she was tough at the end. But nothing here is overly brutal like a Souls game. No fight took me more than 3 tries, and I think that's the point, at least on normal difficulty. You aren't meant to get stonewalled, you are Ryu after all, a badass ninja who always gets the job done. Of course, a few style points along the way doesn't hurt. The animation work is incredible, from the dismembering moves in combat, to the way Ryu leaps up walls, how even his running animation conveys a sense of power and purpose. It's one of many elements that makes up a great presentation here in the remake. Besides these stellar animations, the other praiseworthy element that comes to mind for me would be the level variety. Seriously, it feels like the developers focused on what would be the coolest places to fight in and design levels around that. Story continuity be damned. This includes things like fighting on a giant airship, surviving as it splits in half and crashes to the ground, only to come face to face with a giant fire armadillo. Like, what? Who thought of this, and how can we begin to thank them enough? Or how about a fight in a coliseum, gladiator style? Or as you rise up a tower on giant elevators to face off against a greater fiend? Or, just venturing into hell itself. Whatever would emphasize the adolescent's perspective on what is cool, whatever that may be, it finds its way into this game. And now, even well out of my teenage years, I can't help but to think, hell yeah, as part of my childhood feels like it's living on in this playthrough. And other elements of the presentation impress as well, like the fantastic lighting work, intense music, and other sound effects, especially the slash noise. It sounds so fierce. And every level just looks so good, taking advantage of rich colors to add vibrancy to this world. I can't vouch for how it improves on the original's art direction and style, but I loved what I was seeing and hearing throughout. Of course, the game does have a few minor annoyances. Without a lock-on feature, it feels like Ryu gets out of my control in combat from time to time. I'll be wanting him to prioritize an enemy with his attack, but he will instead hone in on the nearest target in the direction he's facing. It's like he ignores my prompt to switch directions. I would think this has been something that's been maintained from the original game, but it just felt stiff at times. And the camera isn't always perfect, it doesn't always do what you want, but I will say sometimes it provides cool shots as a result, like Ryu slashing towards the screen, cutting through an enemy, and emerging through their corpse. More than anything though, it's just fun to play this style of game again. One where the developers emphasize the fun more than anything else. They aren't trying to extract extra money from your wallet, nor are they trying to waste your time with endless filler and bloat. No, this is a lean experience focused on accomplishing one goal: empowering the player with a fun and gruesome combat system. It's clear this game was meant to appeal to teenagers of the 2000s, but even here in 2025, its strengths still resonate. I'm not saying I want every game to go back to being like this, but it is nice to be reminded of an earlier era of gaming, one that was more concentrated on delivering a singular core experience and not worrying about anything else. It wasn't about impressing the higher ups and meeting quotas. No, it was about making a good game that people would have fun playing, a concept that seems pretty foreign nowadays to many titles. So if you too want to be whisked away to these days gone by, then I highly recommend checking this game out on Game Pass. Team Ninja did a fantastic job of remaking it, polishing it up, and making a few tweaks, understanding that the strengths of the original would still endure and resonate with video game fans of today, just like it did 17 years ago. Thanks for watching. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out this quick look at Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. As I said, it was just cool to revisit a game like this. A single player hack and slash action adventure game that's over after about 8 hours. All gas, no breaks or downtime. It's great. I also loved how easy it was to pick up and play in short bursts. It slotted into my schedule so well since each chapter really only takes like 30 minutes, so yeah, I highly recommend it. Not sure if it's worth $50 outright as a newcomer, but worth it on Game Pass for sure. If you enjoyed this video and you want to support me further, feel free to become a channel member, leave a super thank, or just leave me a tip on Buy Me a Coffee. If you want. Again, that's optional, but it's up to you. It's there if you want to. The links can be found in the description below. As for upcoming videos, the next big project will be on Avowed. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Consider subscribing for more. Follow me on Twitter at NopNapNarp. And as always, have a nice day and take care.